Hello everyone, bringing you a video today which is a little bit like the video I made a little while ago on razors. Purely as an ancillary to collecting militaria, I've obviously put together bits to make soldiers small kit, including Holdall items, the wash kit and so forth. And I've actually amassed quite a nice little collection of old stock in some instances used soap, toothpaste, shaving cream, that sort of thing. And I just thought it'd be potentially useful, maybe interesting, to run through some of these for people who are looking to pick up similar items to recreate period wash kits, hold all contents, etc. So as I say, that's what we're going to do in this video, and we'll get into have a look at a few of these bits and pieces now. So what we have here makes for quite a colourful collection, really. Quite nice things to collect. It's amazing some of these bits and pieces have survived unused in all this time. But anyway, we'll have a look at these various bits and pieces now and talk a little bit more about them. So we'll consider these bits and pieces by era, and these are sort of 1910s through 20s, 30s. We have here an IDL tooth powder tin. If I get that up there without reflecting too much light source, there we go, that's not too bad. This I tend to put in with my Great War kit. I don't have an exact date for this. It's possible it's 1920s, but anyway, it's of the period. The style and everything is correct for the period. I haven't got an absolute date of when these were around, but they're relatively easy to find. I may try and find another example, as I say, to have options, but it's quite a nice tin. It's in relatively good condition. If we can get this here without the glare on it, you can see details on the bottom there. But these are readily available on eBay. They turn up quite frequently. So that's a tin. It's empty, obviously. Empty there, as you can see, this particular example, but all the other bits and pieces we'll be looking at, the tubes of stuff, are all have the contents. Now this is a small trial tube of Colgate's Ribbon Dental Cream, if it'll focus. Come on camera, there's something right in front of you. There we go. Colgate's Ribbon Dental Cream. See the details on the packet here. I did have it right way up, sorry guys. Comes out in a ribbon, lies flat on the brush, and you can see the copyright details there. 1908 for the actual design on the box there, and then details on the back, as you can see. And this has the original little tube inside. Now this is very small, but it is what it is. Little tube of Colgate Ribbon Dental Cream. We're really struggling with the focus here, probably having something else in the background. I'll just move this out of the way. Probably isn't helping matters. It's really struggling. There we go. So this is obviously made in the US. You can see the back of the tube there. I tilt it, hopefully you'll be able to read that should you wish to. You can pause here, and then a little instruction leaflet, a little advertising leaflet here, as you can see, very of its time. Right. Keep the focus up there, hopefully this will. So you can pause and have a read of that should you wish to. Hopefully that'll be in focus enough to read. So that's a couple of early bits and pieces in here, and quite nice they are as well. Both the tin and particularly this little tube is a rather nice little item. I'll just pop this away. So yeah, Colgate Ribbon Dental Cream, and as I say, this is a sort of a small trial tube, but it is what it is. We'll move on to the 1950s now and start again with another trial item. This is Gibbs SR toothpaste. If it will focus, there we go. See the box here, free sample. So it is a free sample example of the packaging and everything. So it's a very small tube again, but it is what it is. For white teeth and healthy gums. Details on the back there. If it'll focus, we can pause. Oh, it's struggling again. These fine details. There we go. Focus there. If you want to read, you can pause and do so. So these are all bits and pieces picked up at shows or on eBay or elsewhere. I've repaired the box. I don't know if you can see here. The flaps had come away, so I've just used some brown paper there to repair. Just using some paper glue. Just glued those back in place. So that's Gibbs SR toothpaste, again from the 50s. This is from the 50s. These are potentially early 60s, but the tubes, the design and everything is fairly standard for Colgate from the mid 1950s as well. Colgate Dental Cream with a Gardol. So Colgate, obviously, again, another very popular brand. So the tube there, details on the back. And we have 2 of these here, both of which originally came with a free ballpoint pen. A very strange offer to get with a tube of toothpaste, but very cheap, naff, horrible plastic ballpoint pen. These really are terrible design. They've completely dried up as well over the years, of course. But these are, I think, still available on eBay at the time of making the video. If you type in vintage Colgate or something like that, you should find them. And they're quite a nice little thing to have. And the other one is exactly the same, just with a different colour of pen, as I remember they were selling them as a set, so you get one of each type. What have I done wrong here? Pen might be stopping it. I won't bother putting that in as part of the video here, but anyway, these are good for sort of 50s, 60s, the Colgate dental cream. And as I say, these are still available on eBay if you're looking for the small kit from that sort of period, wash kit items. Again, 1960s, you can see on one of these has an offer ending. You can see these are 60s because this one has an offer ending, if it'll focus, 1969. So late 60s, McLean's toothpaste. We've got a hefty tube of it there, so these are sort of full-size tubes in comparison. And then this one would have had 2 in, but just has the one. Again, another the same size, different, well, roughly the same size, but different cap, just very slightly smaller. So these came as a job lot on eBay. I might repair the box for these as well. One of the tabs has come off, but this would originally have had a smaller tube in there as well that's been used. So there's just some cardboard packaging there, but they look good in a sort of 60s, 70s Holdall, because that's obviously late 60s. The packaging wouldn't change immediately, so I think it's safe to assume these would have been used at least into the early 70s in this style. Quite a modern looking style. So free food bowl offer. So again, another strange offer on obviously if you buy, interesting, 86.5 cc as opposed to what you would expect, perhaps the imperial contents there. But anyway, details on the packaging there, and they're the details of the offer. Not that that's really relevant to this video, but some of these strange offers you used to get on products, getting a free tube of toothpaste makes a lot more sense to try a different type perhaps. But anyway, that's 2 boxes of 60s McLean's toothpaste there. And finally, all on its own here, we have another little sort of trial or economy size toothpaste. This came out of a flight bag, so the little hygiene sets you get when you go on a long distance flight. It came with an old one of those, which I picked up mainly for the toothpaste tube, and that was from the late 80s, 90s, as I remember. Still a metal tube, but the kind of thing that would be neat just to pop in if you're not going on a long operation or exercise or whatever. A small tube of toothpaste. Again, still readily available on eBay. You can pick these up relatively easily. Interestingly, this has it must have been American manufactured, because it obviously has the weight in ounces there, but nevertheless it serves a purpose. In fact, you can see made in USA on the rear there. So a little tube of Colgate there, a more up-to-date example than the ones we looked at previously. One to look at very quickly here is this tiny little tube of Colgate's Rapid Shave Cream. This will again be from sort of 1920s, 1930s. It's the same size as the Colgate Ribbon box, as you can see here, the trial Colgate Ribbon box. So I haven't opened this one. I didn't open the toothpaste, as I remember. I think that was already open. This one hasn't been opened, so it's been left as is. A little bit of damage here from something, maybe leaking. If it's been sat like that, it may have leaked out the bottom, I don't know. But anyway, that's quite an early little tube of Colgate shave cream. But obviously just the box. The contents are in there, but it's not been opened, so I haven't opened it. But yes, so that's the first one to look at here, from the 20s, 30s sort of time period. And then we have 2, what I believe to be 50s through 60s palm olive shaving creams. Lather and brushless. So lather, you apply to the brush and work up a lather the normal way. Brushless works up a lather just by being rubbed on the skin, is the idea. And these do both have the contents within. If I can delicately open it, I know that one's the one with the broken flap. Let me just open this up here, tuck that in there. So You can see there the lather shaving cream tube. Not a great deal to it. Again, you can read the back should you wish to. If it'll focus again. I'm really struggling with that today. There we go. And then I'll pop that back in there. Yeah, that box does need repairing. I forgot about that. Tuck that away in there again. There we go. And then, which end opens up? That end does. The brushless, which is very similar, but just has the brushless. This is actually almost the paint's turned to a cream colour. Little, there as you can see, finished with palm olive talc for men. And then you've got the details on the back there. Now, equally good contents for a Holdall, of course, is a shaving stick, the stick of shaving soap. But these just add a little bit of colour and interest, particularly for post-war. Certainly younger men in national service and so forth, or new recruits, using more up-to-date shaving accoutrements, particularly from more middle-class backgrounds and so forth, where perhaps they can afford something like this in a tube as opposed to just using a shaving stick. So a couple of those, 1950s through 60s palm olive shaving cream. And then we're back to Colgate again. We have here a, again, believe 60s Colgate tube, certainly pre-metric. So menthol cool, brushless. You can see the box is a little bit discoloured. These are a recent arrival. Large size. I'll show you all the details on the box there. And then if we open this up carefully, it will come out. We have the tube inside here, as you can see. Colgate brushless shaving cream, menthol cool. Then we have the details on the back as usual. If we flip this over, you can have a look at that should you wish to. You can pause here. But this made in England, obviously, so these are UK made as opposed to the US made bits and pieces we've seen previously. So that is some Colgate brushless menthol cool shaving cream. Again, 60s, probably into the 70s with that style, I would imagine. So yeah, another tube there. Okay, and the final bit to look at is several bars of soap which have come up here. Now these don't change a great deal through the period. Certainly Sunlight soap in this style was around for a very long time. An older bar of Puritan soap here, again around for a very long time in this style. And then we have a little trial bar here. So the Puritan, you can see marked Puritan stamped in the top there. Puritan, it's a household soap, but quite a rough texture to it. But that's the sort of thing some men would have carried this style of soap in their Holdall. And then probably a bit earlier on, that sort of rough soap. And then Sunlight, which was a very popular brand of, again, household soap, but used for all sorts of different things. So marked Sunlight and then obviously a channel on the back there. But this style of bar was in production for a very, very long time. So I'm not sure whether this would date right back to the Great War, but certainly carry you right the way through into the 1970s, 1980s, even this style, although carrying a big block like this in your Holdall by the 80s, maybe not. Possibly a toilet soap by that period, but anyway, bar of Sunlight there, full size. And then we have a little trial bar here, which is rather nice. It's still wrapped in the original cellophane, as you can see there. So this is a little sample size, as you can actually see free sample stamped in there. Little bar of Sunlight soap, which would be a lovely design there with the sunburst on the back, considering it's just a moulded bar of soap. So yeah, that would be a nice little thing to have in the Holdall. Obviously, if someone's grabbed a free sample, I think soldiers are never going to say no to a free sample of soap. So yeah, a little bar of soap there, still in the cellophane. Particularly good for displays, that, because it's still in the cellophane. There's no worry about display. There's less worry about displaying it. So that's 3 different bars of soap we have there, which I use in my Holdall or alongside it. So that's some various bits and pieces of toiletry items that I've managed to collect over the years for the various different periods I cover. Hope you found it interesting running through them anyway. As I say, maybe this will be of use to some people who are looking to get similar bits and pieces together as a reference. Some of these bits and pieces are still available on eBay at the time of making this video. The 50s Colgate toothpaste is still around, and there's not difficult to find these bits and pieces. So it's worth having a look. Certainly some of them are relatively common to pick up and really add something to the small kit when you're putting the contents together for a haversack or the rear pouches on the 1958 pattern equipment, that sort of thing. I think it adds something to a display, having these items added in. If you found this video interesting and you'd like to see more from the channel, please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've previously subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, little notification button down below, and that will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you'd like to support the channel, you can. There's both Patreon and PayPal linked down below, and as ever, a huge thank you to everybody who supports my channel through those methods. It's really very much appreciated. Thank you very much, everyone. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. There's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all linked down below. And if you want to make contact but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. But that's everything for this video, so until next time, bye for now.